today I am here to show you my Old Testament passport book as we work through the first month of Revival Camp with Illustrated Faith and the whole Bible journaling community. So I am so excited to share this with you. I think this is going to be a lot of fun for you guys to do the same. I have been embellishing the little traveler's notebooks that has the devotionals in them from the last few kits from Illustrated Faith, and you guys seem to love that. You've asked me already if I'm going to be doing it for this one, and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, but I went ahead and just went for it, and I'm actually really happy with the results and the way it turned out. So I hope you'll get some inspiration from this video, and it'll help you if you choose to do the same. I will say I also have, before we start, an unboxing of the whole kit of the first Old Testament Revival Camp. So if you have not seen the unboxing, I will have a link to it down below in the description where you can go there and see it. They do not have any of the, let me think, they do have, I think they still have the kits, just not the add-ons at the time I'm recording this. So there's also a digital version available for anybody that wants it. So think about that too if you live international or don't want to pay shipping. So let's just dive in. I'm going to show you my setup. I'm going to then show you just a few little supplies that I have pulled to maybe help you and how I'm organizing it in my little traveler's notebook cover here. And I want to start out by showing you some printables. So a lot of you've asked if I was going to do the notebook or embellish my passport book, and if I was going to have some printables in the shop to go with the kit, and I just couldn't resist. There was a couple things that I already had on my mind that I thought would be helpful and useful for me, and so I wanted to share them with y'all and hope they would help you too. So one of the first things that you'll find are these little block tags. I'm calling them tags, but you call them whatever, you know, they're little blocks, title blocks, whatever. And I designed a set of these with some word titles or title starters for 100 Days Less Hustle, More Jesus. If you're following along and starting that starts June 1st. And I designed some free for you guys to have for the first 30 days or so of that book. I thought that would help you guys. And so many people loved it. Y'all thought that these were great to make a simple entry. And so I thought I've got to do some for Revival Camp because they were a lot of fun with the grids. You could write on these. You could put embellishments on them. You could put titles on them. You could use these to layer. So I will show you how I've used them in here, and I think you're gonna love it. And so this whole collection to go along with the Old Testament portion of Revival Camp is called Old Adventures, and that's what it's called. The whole collection in my Etsy shop. If you want to see anything available that goes with this kit, the link to my shop is down below. But these are those, and so you get tons of them. They come, you get 16 of these little blocks on a page, and there's 2 pages in the set, but I've cut up and used a ton of them already, and so these were just the extras. I just cut them down so that it would fit better in my little storage box. Love these. All sorts of colors and varieties to coordinate with the kit. Another thing that I have in there are these really fun note cards, and y'all seem to love the note cards lately, and I just couldn't wait to do something different with them since we're doing the travel theme. You see a lot of stamps in the kit, and so this is a little note card stamp, and I've got different little titles on them. These say notes on them, and you've got one that's got the lines, and then this one's lined with a more colored background and extra little details on it as if the stamp or envelope has been stamped by the post office. And then like this one says destinations, but as I flip through I'll show you there's other colors that match, and they say like travel itinerary, it says packing list, memories. So they're really fun little titles on each one to kind of go with the whole travel theme, and love those so much. Those are great for tip-ins, which I will show you. And then we've got our Polaroid note cards. I started these a couple months back, and y'all really loved them, and so I thought I would do some more. Same thing, we've got destinations, prayers, notes, the itinerary, all of that, and those are on these little cards too. So you'll have to check that out. Good for tip-ins, adding extra room in here for notes. Had to do some collage arts. I can't wait. I didn't use these in here, but I'm going to use these in my Bible entries, and so you've got tons and tons of those. I've just cut mine down, like I said, to go in my little travel or my organizer box, but you've got a sheet of the bigger ones and then a sheet of the minis in that set. Love those as well. I wanted to show you, I've used these in here. These are the little washi strips. I print these on the clear Avery paper as well. I just like the transparent look that it gives, and these are in the pattern paper bundle. So these are just a couple of the sets and collection, or sets in that collection available. You'll have to head over there because there are lots more things. I mean, art elements, page starters, a lot of those fun things that I've have every month. But I loved adding the stamp feature and those little block tags too. So head over there if you want to see it, but let's go ahead and dive into my book. I have supplies here, supplies in a box, and I'll show you that too. But first thing I did was I wanted to really make this globe and title where it looks like it's been stapled. I wanted that to pop and stand off of the page, and so, or the cover. So what I did was I took this ribbon, and I've shown you guys the ribbon that I have. It's on these little cards from Hobby Lobby. I've used these like month after month, and you still see how much I have left of this stuff, so it's really neat. These say $4, but I wait and check clearance and just walk through there and look for the little orange clearance stickers, and these were $1 or less. But I've been using them every month to embellish mine, and picking the ones that, you know, coordinate, and I still have a lot left. Super cheap. But that's what I put here. I took one of the ribbons off of one of those and made a bow and glued that on there. All this is glued on with hot glue. I tried this another month because this cover is got like a waxy feel to it, and I wasn't sure if the glue would stick or want to peel up. It has held up very well as I work through the other kits. I'm very pleasantly surprised about that. This is one of the little heart stickers that came from an Illustrated Faith sticker set that you can get from Dayspring, and I'll have a link down to where, you know, a lot of the supplies come from with Dayspring and their Bible journaling stuff. Now, these little cards all come from, now I'm going to apologize up front because I have some of the add-ons that were available, and then a lot of the cards come in like the ephemera pack that's comes with your kit, so I just cannot remember which is which at this point because they're not in the same packaging. I'm sorry about that, but either the add-ons or the ephemera pack that come with the kit is where I got them from. So if you look down here at the bottom, you notice I had this little ribbon sticking out, and what I have done is this page is blank, and I just wanted to add a little something to it. I like having a place to put a prayer when I start off any kind of devotional or set. So what I did here was I put I'm going to write a little prayer there, but this was a little card that looks like an old vintage postcard, and I just went to layering like crazy. I layered with different cards, the clear acetate piece that was one of my sets, and then added this little mini bow clip from Dayspring on there, and I love that. But I'll go back and add more there on my prayer. Now, we had a little passport challenge that Shauna challenged us to do, and that was to go ahead and make sure you fill out your passport page, get that picture down, get some details down, and have fun with it. And I love how it turned out. I totally meant to have my little, I have an HP Sprocket printer, and I wanted to have that handy to show you, but I didn't. But I will leave a link to it down below. That's how I print out pictures for Bible journaling, my traveler's notebooks. I print them straight from my phone wirelessly to the printer, and it prints off on these little, they're about like this size, but I just cut it down to fit in the box, layered pieces underneath it. And then over here, I took some grid paper that I had on a Heidi Swap notepad that I've shown y'all before, and I cut it down for each one just to kind of, I don't know, give it some more dimension, and then filled that out. Added a little ribbon clip at the top. And then we have our packing list. I'm going to go through and write in more details, but I just put washi and a string of like a ribbon here and hot glued that down just to give a little something. I love the picture, so I didn't want to do too much. And then we start with our devotionals, and some of the pages you see don't have a ton of space for journaling, and I like to write a lot. I like to write out scriptures and notes, prayers, things like that. So I used those stamp note cards, and here they are. I just put two back to back, and then put them down with washi, and in between them I had this little clear acetate piece to kind of give it a tag to pull it over. And I just love these. All the colors are so fun. They even have this little look to them like they're worn and old, and I just think it's really cute. Now I added just other little embellishments and washi to the page that came from those sets I mentioned. And then over here, this is one of those Polaroid note cards that said memories. Added one of the grid blocks there, and you'll see I have one of those grid blocks over here too, where I had an extra piece that was cut off from this one, and I liked how that just layered, and then I put a little title down on it. Next, I used one of the little speech bubbles that you can find over there. That way I could write out a scripture or note if I wanted to. Added some washi there. So not every page has to be tons of detail, and it's, you know, it makes it a lot simpler, and then you also get some extra space to write. And then over here, layered a couple speech bubbles. I love that look. Put down a card under it, layered with some washi. And then the little brads here that you see, those were in the add-on set. I do know that, and so they're easy to poke through the page. You just cut with your scissors just a tiny bit, and they'll poke right through, no problem. And then, you know, it kind of shows up on the other side, but it's not a deal breaker to me that it shows there. Put one of those stamp cards there that said packing list. I just love that one. I love how the colors go together so well. Then when we move over, same thing here. I've got room to journal, but I added this little block tag so that I could put like a verse that stood out or something that I really wanted to stand off the page. One thing that I have been doing lately, as well as I go through each devotional, I like to know what's the one thing that I took away from it that really stood out to me the most, and I like to have that kind of popped off the page. And so I'll be able to do that like you see with these things here, and that's helped me a lot, so that if I flip back through it and I want to review past weeks, I can do that very easily with those. This washi came as an add-on. I love all the little cars that you would find if you were traveling. That one's really cute, the little tour bus. And then over here, same thing, just put two of the little note cards together, a block tag, one of those washis that I showed you. And I'm very simple, but it adds a lot of fun detail. One of the note cards, I put those back to back, added a little paper clip there just for a fun embellishment, a brad, sticker, the block tag with the highlighter washi below it. Over here, actually that should be flipped down. This was already on the page. This little looks like an Instax print, and I thought it would be fun to have room to journal there, make more space to journal on top of it, and when you pick it up, even more. So you see how much room I really get out of these pages. A block tag there, washi, 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 a sticker. And then back here, I used more of that really fun car washi. One of the brads, the little, those are so cute. You'll see these throughout mine, the little sunnies. I love the sunglasses. A block tag there, and that's it. So that is how I am doing my traveler's notebook for this time, the passport book actually, and that's how I've embellished it. I love how it turned out, how I've added extra space to write notes in it. That's going to be a lot of fun. But I'll show you, here is the little notebook that I keep mine in, and of course I'll add it in later, but I wanted to have it out to show you guys. And then mine looks a little messy and scattered, but I love just filling the pockets that come with it. This is from Carpe Diem. Illustrated Faith did have some of these in their shop, so I'll have to look, but I'll link them down below, and you can head over and see if they still have this. It was the spotty dot one, but I usually fill the little pockets here with different of the ephemera and paper pieces, washi strip pieces as well, that came with the kit or with the add-ons. And then you'll see here the same kind of thing. These are those heart stickers I was talking about that you can get at Dayspring, and then all of the little pieces. These are badge stickers that came with the kit. Back here I have the stamp set that came with the kit. And then back here is where I had some of these other little printables that I showed y'all. I just have them stuffed back there, so it keeps everything really handy. Of course, the traveler's notebook sticker sheet that comes with the kit is in there. And so that's how I do that. I've shown you guys my system before, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing right now. But this is a clear box that I keep. I have several of them. I use one for my day spring kit, one for, I have one set up for the 100-day challenge, and this is the one that I'm using for Revival Camp. So it just has like the basics that I've shown y'all before: ink pad, scissors, my date stamp, little ribbons in case I want to make clips to go up at the top of my page. I have this heart washi ring. I don't know that Illustrated Faith has any more of these. They were selling these in their shop and they sold out, and they had to restock, and I think they sold out again. But I love this. These are some of the washies that I have pulled for it. I encourage you to look through your stash, because this is from the, I want to say Mark Maker kit maybe, or maybe not. It's from one of the other older kits. This was a washi that I had on hand that I thought went well. And so this is a fabric washi that I just thought the blues pulled in, or, you know, coordinated well. So I encourage you to do that. This is the highlighter washi from Dayspring that I already had. I have my adhesive runner, and then below here, or in this little bag, I have the little Versamagic chalk inks, and those are all in that bag. I cut down this big old add-on so that it would fit in here, and then lots of other little paper pieces, and then at the bottom are some of like my favorite alphas. I have the little Word Fetty sticker booklet from Dayspring, that kind of thing, and that's what I have pulled for Revival Camp. You can see I do have multiple things in here, but at the same time, I try to keep it as simple as possible so that it's more doable for me. Revival Camp is also going to be going on at the same time as the 100-day challenge. So that's why I shared about the little block tags and the other printables that make keeping up with a challenge like that so easy. Because if you don't have something, a plan like that in place, it is really easy to get overwhelmed and then you just quit altogether. And I don't want that to happen to any of us. I really, you know, I know that would make the enemy happy, so we don't want to do that, and I want us to stay in the Word and work through this together. So I hope you guys join me for Revival Camp and you found that these little ideas were helpful to you, or fun, and something that you could do. I just sit down at night and do it while I'm watching TV, a good movie, listening to music, and it's a good way to knock it out and have fun doing it while you're also watching your favorite shows. So don't forget, you can head over to Illustrated Faith to grab your kit if you haven't already, and of course all of the printables that I showed you here plus more are available in my Etsy shop at the link down below. And that whole collection again is Old Adventures. So again, guys, thanks for all your support and your love, your messages, your kind words of encouragement to me. I appreciate them. And I will be back soon. Maybe I'll show you guys more of how I'm working through Revival Camp in my illustrating Bible. If you'd like to see that, I can maybe do some process videos or fun things like that too. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.